First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those Philat that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is without warning, deadly Texas flood. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news report by CBS News. And it reads that death toll in devastating Central Texas flash floods climbed to 79, more than 40 remain missing. Let's get a little bit more of this report. It says at least 79 people are dead and at least 41 more are missing after devastating flash floods slammed Texas Hill Country, with water rescues taking place along the Guantanamo River, which rose rapidly early Friday morning to the heights of a two-story building. Almost a dozen are still missing from Camp Mystic in Kerr County, a children's summer camp, official said Sunday. So let's get a little bit more of this report. It says here, of the facilities so far, 68 have occurred in Kerr County. Said its sheriff Larry Alethea said at a news conference Sunday afternoon, an increase from 43 deaths reported the previous night. The dead include 40 adults and 28 children, with 18 of the adults and 10 of the children unidentified. Said at least 10 count. Let's start over again. It said at least 10 Camp Mystic campers are missing, along with one counselor, Alethea told reporters. This is the first solid number official had provided regarding campers who remain unaccounted for. So after estimating Saturday that it could be as high as 27, there were about 750 children at Camp Mystic when the flood hit. The sheriff said earlier. President Trump signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County on Sunday morning, said at Texas Governor Greg Abbott request. On Saturday, Abbott said he visited the summer camp for the first time, calling the scene horrendously ravaged in a social media post. So we're going to stop it right there. So we noticed that now this has been in the news for the last couple of days, that this devastating flood that came through this small Texas county, the Kerr County. And they said that it was always something similar like this happened back in 87. So right now they're saying that the death toll has risen to 79. And then it says more than 40 missing. So we see it right now that, a lot of people might call this weather manipulation, or they might call this is by design or manufactured, or could this been coordinated. But one thing about it, we knowing that this is all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The Lord is constantly bringing judgment upon these wicked heathens, also these two-thirds. So right now we're going to constantly see these things in the news left and right. So it also was flooding. I think it was in Kansas, and it was another state. We can't hardly keep up with all these things because the plagues are, they're not slacking down. We're constantly seeing increase. It's constantly accelerate left and right, calamities, left and right. The death toll is right. The body count is constantly rising left and right. So we see it right now that they had declared this place here a disaster. Emergency declaration. What I'm trying to say, that he already declared this state of emergency. That's what I was trying to say. So, but we see it right here that a lot of people, as rumors that a lot of people are saying that DJ Donald Trump was the cause of all this, saying that he got rid of the funding for FEMA, and also they were saying that also he did away with the National Weather. I think it's the National Weather Society, if not thinking that they are not going. They're not going. There was not going to give any warnings anymore. Like weather reports and different things like that. So these people didn't have no idea when all this water came in from this river. The Guantanamo River. I'm hoping I'm saying it right. So, but anyway, we're seeing that these things right here are constantly picking up left and right. Also we know they had a mass shooting in Chicago today. Say within the last week. Say it was 2 shootings. And also we knowing about this big beautiful bill. A lot of things are constantly picking up left and right. So we know that they shut down FEMA. Also they shutting down a lot of these government assistance. So a lot of people right now are very angry. They're angry what the government was doing. So a lot of these things are being blamed on the Trump administration. Saying now these people don't have any place to stay. They're homeless right now. So it won't be no FEMA because he did away with FEMA. So a lot of these things are just right in our face. Man, we constantly seeing it left and right. And also we knowing about alligator Alcatraz. He was setting up these concentration camp, and what did the Lord send? The Lord sent forth that judgment. So now it's, in the reports are saying that this concentration camp, that which was in fact was in the Everglades in Florida, that it said now is flooded out. So the Lord is constantly visiting. He's constantly making it plain, and also the Lord is going to bring forth more judgment to come, so it's going to be more increased judgment across the world like we have never seen before. So right now we're constantly seeing these things are picking up. So now they're saying they don't know all of a sudden this happening, and most of these was young age girls, if I'm not mistaken, but a lot of these things gonna constantly pick up disorder out of chaos. This is by design. We're not ignorant of Satan's device. So a lot of these things going on. Also, we know what's going on over there in Philadelphia with this sanitation worker strike. Also we seeing that there's a lot of what you call trash. They're just putting all their trash out in the street. So we seeing now that Philadelphia now is looking just like a third world country. Is this by design? Has it been manufactured? Yes, it's been manufactured from the left hand side, but it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So right here, it said this number may change. This devastating storm that hit Texas, So I've been noticing that they've been hitting Texas with a lot of different things. And also when you get a look around and look up DARPA and look up this weather manipulator, weather modification, or what you call cloud seeding. So it's a lot of things that they can do, to make these type of catastrophes and these calamities to happen. This man right here, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So he can call a lot of things to happen and blame it on what? On climate change. So one thing about it, once again, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So let's read this little report again. It said death toll in devastating Central Texas flash floods climbs to 79. More than 40 remain missing. So right now they still looking, for these certain people that's still unaccounted for, in this off this river. So they say this has happened once before back in '87. So right now we're seeing these things are constantly going to pick up. It's constantly increasing. We're seeing that we're at the beginning of sorrow, and also it says in what it is, 2nd Ezra chapter 8, I think around verse 50, many great miseries shall befall them because they are walking in great pride. So the Lord's constantly bringing forth this judgment. All of a sudden, when they was in their security, when they was unaware, these things come upon them. So these things will constantly pick up each and every day. So we ride upon all hell breaking loose. So now let's go here and get a quick precept before we start today's video. Let's go here to first to the blue letter. Let's go here to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12. And it reads that, for man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in a even net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare or a trap, so are the sons of men snared in a evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. So one thing about it, these people got caught up in that evil net. They got caught up in what? In judgment from who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. They got caught up. It's just like a bird get caught up in the net. He pretty much is what he's done for. So we seeing right now, these things are on the rise, left and right flooding, in these different different states. And also we already know about the one that happened in North Carolina, also in the Appalachian Mountains. So this is all by design. They flooding people out, and they're doing away with all these different government assistance to where they can be able to come in and help you. So they're taking all the resources away. And also we constantly seeing that DJ Donald Trump is constantly dismantling the government. This is all by design. Total control is exactly what they want, because we're seeing it right now. This nation is divided and it will not stand. So let's read this in the NLT. It said, Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12 said, people can never predict when hard time might come. Like fish in a net or birds in a trap, people are caught by sudden tragedy. So that's what happened to those people. They was caught up by sudden tragedy, but it was all through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. The Lord bring forth judgment every day. And one thing about it, we are constantly waiting the great and glorious return of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. The Lord is going to return and set everything back into order. So now let's go to this one here. So a lot of people right now was in their security. Let's go to this one here in Sirach chapter, then we'll start a day video. Let's go here to Sirach chapter 5. Sirach chapter 5. Let's go back out. 5 and 7. We'll start there. It says here, make no terror to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So don't put off from day to day, you know what I'm saying? Because what? Suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come upon you. So a lot of people right now are relaxing in their lead, lackadaisy right now, not aware of the signs of the time, not aware that we are right upon all hell breaking loose. While you're relaxing in your lease, while you're thinking that you're a good case, these things will come upon you very suddenly. Tragedy will strike. But it's coming from who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. So one thing about it, don't put off from day to day. It's time to seek the Lord right now while he can be found. Verse 8, it says, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So right now, you don't set your mind upon these materialistic things, like your home, your family, your resource, your bank account, your reputation, because they're not going to be a hill of a beam when the time of trouble comes. So right now, a lot of these people have lost their lives. A lot of people are displaced, don't have a place to stay, don't know where the next meal is coming from. All of a sudden, at first, they thought they was a good case. Now, a lot of people right now are having a vexation of spirit, mourning, sorrow. Great vexation of spirit. A lot of different uncertainties. A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are travailing like a woman with child. The Lord is bringing forth judgment each and every day. Amen. The Lord is doing it. He's making it happen. So let's get one more and we'll go to the video. Let's go to this one right here, because the Lord is bringing forth this judgment. We'll get this after the video. So let's start today's video, and after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Families hold on to hope as heartbreak overflows. On the broken banks of the Guadalupe River, a trail of death and debris, trees leveled and shredded, families destroyed. The death toll rising with every update. And tonight, our first look at Camp Mystic, the Christian all-girls retreat devastated. Inside one cabin, bunks and bedding caked in mud. Officials say 27 campers are still missing tonight. The Guadalupe swelled nearly 30 feet in just about an hour Friday morning. A holiday escape, now a hellscape. RVs abandoned and homes reduced to shells.
This very well may be the worst flood Hunt has ever seen. The devastation is unbelievable. How these kids survived in any of these camps along the river is nothing short of a miracle. But I did. I grew up with this store. I've like I said, I've danced here. I've been here, sat by the fireplace in a rocking chair and drank a beer. The devastation, there are just no words.
What is happening in Texas right now is absolutely horrific and so heartbreaking, but there are so many people, including many children, who are still missing. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning specifically for Kerr County, where the Guadalupe River is located. The river ended up rising 26 feet in just 45 minutes, reaching its second highest height on record, surpassing a 1987 flood level. Along that river is Camp Mystic, a private Christian summer camp for girls, and it was hit especially hard. It was reported that up to 27 girls were missing from the camp. And as of this afternoon, it has been reported that 4 campers have been confirmed to no longer be alive. This includes 8-year-old Renee Schmalstra, 9-year-old Janie Hunt, 8-year-old Sarah Marsh, and Lila Bonner. Renee's parents said, quote, "We are thankful she was with her friends and having the time of her life, as evidenced by pictures from yesterday. She will forever be living her best life at Camp Mystic." But as you can see from these photos, the destruction is massive. And there are still at least 27 people missing, including up to 20 of the Camp Mystic campers.
So we're seeing that it's no respect to person. The Lord, he'll wipe out entire community, wipe out entire families. The Lord is no one to be played with. He's the King of terror. So let's start today's lesson. So we're seeing in those videos, the Lord is bringing forth a lot of devastation, a lot of destruction, calamities, catastrophes, constantly happening left and right, because the Lord is constantly what? Bringing forth judgment. It is time of judgment, and also, our salvation is at the door. So now, let's start here first, Zephaniah. Let's start here first in Zephaniah chapter 3, as soon as I can pull it up. Bear with me. Zephaniah chapter 3, and we'll start up at verse 5. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 5 says, "The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame." So right now we're seeing that the Lord is constantly handing down judgment, each and every day, left and right. The Lord, he kill, he wound, he make alive. The Lord do all these things. The Lord is in the storm. The Lord is in the wind. The Lord, everything that happened, the Lord sanctioned it. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of people believe it or not. So the Lord's in perfect control. So right now, the Lord, every day, he's handing down judgment. So let's read this once again in the NLT. It said, Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 5 said, but the Lord is still there in the city, and he does no wrong. Day by day he hands down justice. He does not fail, but the wicked know no shame. So one thing about it, who is the wicked? Who is the unjust? These are the two there, in these heathen nations. They're not considering. They're putting off from day to day. They're going on with their daily lives. They're not considering the signs of the time. Oh, that's not going to happen. I don't believe this. I don't believe that. Well, you don't have to believe it. The Lord is constantly bringing forth this judgment each and every day. So that's where we at right now. We're right upon judgment, and also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord is in perfect control. So it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Let's get this one right quick. So the Lord, the Lord killed young, old, infant. It does not matter. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to do a whole lot of what? Unaliving. Hebrews chapter, let's get through one here. And I got the Hebrews chapter 10. I think it's around verse 30, if I'm not mistaken. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 30. Give me one moment, please. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 30. This is it right here. It says here, for we know him that has said, vengeance belongs unto me, and I will recompense or repay, says the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. Verse 31, here's the point. Said, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So one thing about it, it's a fearful thing. So they fell into the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Do anyone perish being innocent? No, they don't. Whether they're a child, whether they're an infant, whether they're old or young, it does not matter. It's no one is going to escape the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. That's what we're seeing, all this different devastation around the world, earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing storms, tempests. We're seeing hurricanes, tornadoes, rainstorm, thunderstorm, hailstorm, and many others. It's getting ready to come. The Lord's getting ready to make it good very soon. So a lot of people are still unbelieving, but we really don't give a damn. So let's go here to Isaiah. Let's go into Isaiah, then we'll get one more video, and then we will close out. Let's go into Isaiah chapter 29, because the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We constantly seeing it each and every day. Let's go here, Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6 says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and flames of devouring fire." So that's exactly what we're constantly seeing each and every day. It says, "You shall be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, thunderstorm, flooding, rain, hailstorm." It says here, it says earthquakes in diverse places, great noise. It's talking about this thermonuclear exchange. It's getting ready to happen. Things can go nuclear at any given time. With storms, all sorts of storm, this flooding, flash flood, the Lord's constantly making it plain. High winds, hailstorm, rainstorm, a mudslide, all sorts of things the Lord is making it plain. And tempest goes into what? Tornadoes, hurricanes. The Lord is making it happen. Flames of devouring fire. So, like when you go look at these forest fire, that have been burning, from last year all up into this year, all across the world. Lord causing these things to have that devouring fire. Also, the Lord's going to bring those IBCM missiles. That'll be a devouring fire. And also that laser and chariot fire, the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So the Lord is causing these things to happen left and right. So that's what we're constantly seeing, left and right. Calamities behind calamity. One event behind another. It's happening just like a domino effect, because what? The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. That's why we're constantly seeing these different UFO sightings are all across the world. What they ignorantly call UFO, but we know them as the chariot of the Most High. They're constantly doing the Lord bidding each and every day. The eyes of the Most High is upon the what? The sinful kingdom. What is that sinful kingdom? America, Babylon the Great. So now let's get one more video and we'll close out, because we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So let's go here. Let's go out. It's another one I want to get right quick if I can find it. Let's pull this one up. So this is all by design, but by who? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. The so-called white man, the red man, he can't do a damn thing without the Lord sanctioning it.
Well, so Texas, Donald Trump's #1 supporting state, has had these floods. Terrible. 30 people damn near all gone. Entire camping sites gone. Dozens of people missing. And what they're saying now? They blaming Donald Trump for cutting their funding from the weather services. The people who used to warn everybody from the weather. Well, he cut the funding for that. And the people in Texas now saying, had he not cut that, they would have had the infrastructure to give everybody notification about what was going to happen. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I'm saying this, I ain't in Texas. But the people now who were his strongest supporters are now blaming him for the floods and the loss of life and the loss of campsites and homes. I even saw a video with a house floating. And I seen a whole campsite with the RV site they was talking about gone. That's gone. All those people ain't got nowhere to live right now. Nowhere to go, nowhere to live, nothing. And they can't get no help from the government because Trump cut FEMA, remember? Ain't no more FEMA for you. If you don't got floods insurance, you on your own, basically. You on your own. Imagine that the government that you paying your money to could have prevented what was going on, but because of their own personal reasons and agendas or whatever, the money to let you know ended up getting cut. And then shortly thereafter, a flood come and take everything you got without warning. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious.
So we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So all of a sudden they did away with FEMA. Also, it was saying that they want to give people no more warning about different weather events, like hurricane warnings and there's a couple of other ones. But we already know this is all by design. You already know what happened in North Carolina. We know what happened in the Appalachian Mountain. Also, different other areas. They constantly, bringing a lot of different destruction, flood peoples out, displace them, and set up these communities, what they call them, smart cities. You know what I'm saying? Under surveillance, monitoring, reporting. A lot of these different things are coming into play. We're coming into a new digital society, a digital infrastructure. See what I'm saying? That's why the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of these impending dangers. So let's get our last and final script, and we'll close out. Let's go here to 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. We'll close out here because this man is trying to get that advantage. He's trying to fill his belly, trying to bring forth his plan, total control. You know what I'm saying? A new W.O. You understand what I'm saying? And so let's read this right quick and we'll close out. It says 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And who is the physical counterpart of Satan? The modern day so-called white man, the red man, not white, red. You know what I'm saying? He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He's trying to get that advantage. He's trying to make America white again. America ain't never been white. America ain't never been great. You know what I'm saying? One thing about this place, when you look up the word America, goes into bitter. You know what I'm saying? This place is bitter. You know what I'm saying? Double rebellions here. So the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. And it says here, so we're not ignorant of his device. Who is not ignorant of his devices? The true believers, starting with the prophets, and also the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, said we're not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his agenda, his plan. You know what I'm saying? His mindset. He wants total control to make you a perpetual slave. That's why we're constantly seeing this order out of chaos each and every day. And one thing about it, we already know that the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So we're seeing right now, he's constantly putting these evil schemes into place. So let's read this in the NLT. It says 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 in the NLT. It says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, which in fact are the prophet, the true believer, for we are familiar with his evil scheme. We're seeing him each and every day. This man constantly rolling out this order out of chaos, caused the problem, and he come up with the solution. We're here to help you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make it better for you. And either by that solution that they have is that grain of rice. And one thing about it, we already know that this man has already started a depopulation program. And also, we already know the one that already took that, the hokey pokey. You know what I'm saying? You on borrowed time. So we already know that we are very close to all hell breaking loose. We read upon World War III. We read upon this digital infrastructure. You know what I'm saying? Also, we upon Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, also our salvation. So a lot of things are getting ready to take place. That's why the Lord said, behold, I come quickly and my reward is with me. So one thing about it, we got to constantly trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, and the Lord is going to do the rest. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Without Warning, Deadly Texas Flood. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua Ba'ashim Rikak Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.